G'day and welcome back. In this episode we're going to talk everything Dorper and why you should have them on your small farm. Dorpers are self-dropping, which means that they have hair that they drop by themselves, no wool, which means you don't have to go and spend money on shearies or a shearer and spend hours doing it. Dorpers do have the best personality as well, and when it comes to lambs, they're absolutely amazing mothers. Not only that, from bone to meat ratio, they are outstanding in their field. Dorpers, being stocky and short, give you a high percentage of meat to bone ratio. And what more do you want? Don't have to shear them. They will look after themselves pretty much. But before we get into lambs, first you've got to breed them. And this is where it comes into maintenance and also choosing your best breeding stock. I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on how you can do that. Tip number 1 being, don't buy another breeder's problems. What I mean by this is that make sure when you are buying your breeding stock is to check how old they are. Sometimes people forget how old their sheep are when selling, so it's always good to double check. In this chart, it should help you when it comes time to have a look. Not only having a look in the mouth, but also all over the face, eyes, ears, mouth and teeth can make sure that you're not bringing home diseases from another farm. If you do see any of the symptoms of sores in the nose, the mouth, the eyes, the ears, ask the breeder if they have noticed it, and if they have, what it is. Remember, it's always best to be safe than sorry. It may be a great price and cheap as, but you do not want to be bringing home someone else's problems, especially when you're about to start your own breeding stock. Also, you need to watch out for Barber's poleworm. I myself have purchased sheep, and without even looking, I brought them home to find out that they are riddled with Barber's pole. Some sheep breeds are more tolerant than others. The Dorper is especially tolerant. They have a high threshold for these worms, but it's always good to give them a drench at least twice a year to make sure that they don't have a build-up. This here is called bottle jaw. Bottle jaw is the surrounding fluid underneath the jaw, indicating that the sheep is becoming anemic and needs urgent attention. Checking feet also is important because you don't want a sheep that has foot rot or any feet problems. Here you can see that foot rot can really devastate a sheep, making them lame, stopping them from eating, and simply passing away. Tip number 2, ask heaps of questions about the bloodline of which you're purchasing. Just remember, your ram makes up 50% of your flock, so making sure you start off with a good stud is a great start. Our boy Pluto here, he's 6 years old. He'll probably only have another couple of years in him, but he has a bloodline that we so desire in our flock. He has strong genetics of which he can pass on to his sons, of which we will keep. When we were looking for a new ram, these are the things that we looked for. In confirmation, they were well bred, having strong legs, long, deep, wide bodies with well-sprung ribs. Their back were long and strong as well, with no slightly hollowing. Their testicles had to be at least 30 centimeters at the age of 10 months, this giving us a great idea of the future for their breeding. When looking at a ewe, she should be well structured. Long, well built from the neck to the hindquarters. Teats are to be spaced apart 10 centimeters with no abnormalities. Weigh over at least 28 kilos with no genetic deformities, and making sure that they have amazing shedding abilities. Tip number 3, take note of what the previous breeder feeds their flock. And what I mean by this is, can you give them something other than hay and pasture? On our farm, we love to give them variety. They love their pumpkins, their watermelons, cucumbers, sweet potatoes, and of course the carrot and the apples. It's good to give them a bit of variety, and it also keeps them interested in the pasture, because eating grass all day could get boring, I suppose. But as you can see, the girls haven't quite shed their last coats, and this will help them with nutritional value. It's always good to give them some variety. Pumpkins is also a natural wormer. I bet you didn't know that. Giving them fruit and veggies can also help with their milk building. If you don't want to spend heaps of money on grain, you can always chuck in some pumpkins to help them keep up that milk production for the lambs. All animals usually like pumpkins and sweet potatoes, but ours are quite non-fussy and they'll eat about anything you can put in front of them. It's always good to give them variety. Dorpers, hands down, are the most easiest breed of sheep that you could have on your farm. You don't have to shear them. They're non-picky when it comes to different pastures, and their personalities will have you laughing all day long. To conclude, Dorpers are fast-growing, low maintenance, and easy to harvest if you want to do home kills. Go out and grab yourself some Dorpers and start your Dorper journey. Thank you.